Welcome to Mythos AI, your source for Cliff's Notes on complex subjects. Join Anna and Phil for yet another engaging conversation.
Ready for a deep dive? Today, we're tackling Ilya Sutskever.
Ilya Sutskever.
Ilya, the AI guy.
Oh, right. I know the name. Should I know the name?
Well, even if you don't, his work has probably touched your life already. We're talking AI that's already out there, not just some far-off thing.
Like what? Give me an example.
Think voice assistants. The way your phone seems to magically know what's in a photo. That kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, that I get. So we're talking big leagues AI. What's the angle here?
We're going deep on the person using this biography we found.
So it's not just about the tech itself.
Nope. This is about understanding the mind that's shaping some of the most powerful tech out there. How this one guy went from math whiz to, well, you could call him an AI superstar.
All right, superstar. I'm intrigued. So where do we start?
Beginnings, right. Sutskever's story starts in 1986, born in Russia. Family moved to Israel when he was young, and then they ended up in Canada.
So already we've got an international upbringing.
It's funny how many big names in AI have these kind of diverse backgrounds, isn't it?
It's true, yeah. Almost like you need that, seeing the world in different ways to wrap your head around something as complex as AI.
It's like all those different perspectives give you different pieces of the puzzle. And speaking of puzzles, seems our guy Sutskever, he was a math whiz from day one.
No surprise there, right? Math and AI kind of go hand in hand.
Totally. So he breezes through a math degree, then takes his talents to the University of Toronto Masters and PhD, all in on AI.
Hold on. University of Toronto.
Geoffrey Hinton territory.
Exactly. That's where he meets the legend himself, Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of deep learning.
Okay, for those of us who aren't, like, AI whisperers, break it down. Why is Hinton such a big deal?
Imagine the AI we have now, the stuff we were just talking about. A lot of it goes back to his work on deep learning. It's the engine, you could say.
And Hinton's the one who built that engine.
Or at least a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who helped figure out how to make computers learn like our brains do, but, on a massive scale.
Okay, so we've got Sutskever learning from the godfather himself. What happens next?
Well, in 2012, they team up with AlexNet. And this is where things get really interesting.
Interesting. How? Do tell.
They unleash AlexNet upon the world.
AlexNet, like the web browser?
No, this was a completely different kind of beast. We're talking deep learning, specifically a deep convolutional neural network.
Deep.convolutional.neural network. Okay, you're going to need to unpack that a bit.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't speak fluent AI, what are we even talking about here?
Right, sorry. So imagine a network of neurons in a computer, kind of like the ones in your brain, but digital.
Okay, I'm vaguely following.
And each layer of this network is analyzing the image, but in a very specific way. Convolutional means it's looking for patterns, but not in the whole image all at once. It's like scanning it bit by bit.
So breaking down the image.
Yeah, exactly. And deep just means there are tons of these layers all working together. This makes it insanely good at spotting tiny details, things other AI systems would miss.
Okay, so that's the tech, but what did it actually do?
Picture this. The AI world has its Olympics, right?
AI Olympics, I'm listening.
This is the ImageNet Challenge. Basically, it's a competition to see which team's AI can recognize images the best.
Sounds high stakes.
It was a big deal. And in 2012, Sutskever and the team, they show up with AlexNet, and it just crushes the competition. It was a total game changer.
So, like, AI went from barely recognizing a cat in a photo to
suddenly being able to identify thousands of different objects with incredible accuracy.
Okay, that's seriously impressive. But wasn't there another key ingredient in this whole AlexNet story? Something about GPUs.
Oh, you're on top of it. Yes,
Yeah.
GPUs, those are graphics processing units. Think of them like the workhorses of the computer world.
They're the things that make your games look all fancy, right?
Exactly. But they're also really good at the kind of math that deep learning needs. Really, really complex calculations. What Sutskever and his team realized was that by using these GPUs, they could actually make these huge neural networks like AlexNet run fast enough to be useful.
So it was like giving these AI brains the processing power they needed to really shine.
Exactly. And that was a game changer, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, deep learning went from being this promising idea to something that could actually be used in the real world. And Sutskever, he was right there at the forefront of it all.
So we've gone from cat photos to what's next on Sutskever's AI to-do list?
He turns his attention to something even more complex, language.
Wait, more complex than images?
Yeah.
Really? Images have so much going on, colors, shapes, textures. What could be harder for AI to wrap its head around than that?
Because language isn't just about individual words, right?
Yeah.
It's the order they're in, the grammar, even the tone of voice if you're speaking. And back then, AI was really struggling to grasp that kind of complexity.
So how do you even begin to teach AI about things like tone and context?
Well, in 2014, Sutskever and a couple of his colleagues, they published this paper, Sequence-to-Sequence Learning with Neural Networks. Catchy title, right?
Rolls right off the tongue.
They called it Seq2Sec for short. And basically, it was like giving AI a crash course in understanding how sequences work.
Sequences, like Netflix binging. Sorry, go on.
Not quite. Think of it like learning a dance routine. It's not just about knowing the individual steps, right?
Yeah.
It's about the order, the transitions, how each movement flows into the next.
Okay, so Sec2Sec was like teaching AI the choreography of language.
Exactly. Instead of just seeing a jumble of words, AI could now understand the flow, the meaning behind the sentence.
Wow, that's going from 0 to 60 in the blink of an eye. So Sutskever helps AI crack image recognition, then he tackles language. Is there anything this guy can't do? So Sutskever has basically given AI the building blocks for understanding how we communicate.
Precisely. And that opens up a whole universe of possibilities. Think about it. Language translation that actually captures the nuances, the poetry of the original. Or text summarization, where AI can read whole research paper, like a super speed reader, and tell you the key takeaways.
That's going from helpful tool to, whoa, kind of scary smart territory.
And this is where Sutskever, he doesn't just stop at impressive tech, he starts seeing the even bigger picture. And that leads us to OpenAI, founded in 2015.
OpenAI. Okay, that name definitely has a ring to it. Even for someone like me who's not like hardcore into the AI scene, I've heard of OpenAI. There's like an aura around it.
There is, and for good reason. This wasn't just another tech company, another startup trying to make a buck. This was about going for the holy grail of AI, artificial general intelligence.
AGI. Okay, I know I should know what that is. But be honest, does anyone really know? Is it one of those things we're still figuring out?
It's the big dream, right? Imagine an AI that isn't just good at one thing, like playing chess or writing a poem. AGI is about an AI with the cognitive abilities of a human being, able to learn anything, solve problems in any field.
So not just a really smart calculator, but a mind like ours. That's a wild thought.
That's the goal. An AI that could be a doctor diagnosing diseases and turn around and compose music like Beethoven. That's the level we're talking about.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's both amazing and a little terrifying. Like, what happens to us if they can do everything we can do, but better?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes Sutskever and OpenAI so fascinating. They weren't just blindly building the most powerful AI. They knew they had to figure out the how to use it part too. From day one, they emphasized ethics and safety.
So not just can we do this, but should we do this?
Exactly. And that leads us to some of their biggest projects. GPT-3, for example. Heard of it?
Who hasn't? It was like the AI rock star a few years back. Honestly, before we started this deep dive, my understanding was pretty basic. You type stuff in, it spits out something clever.
It's way more than just a party trick, though. GPT-3 was a huge leap forward. Think about it. It could generate different creative text formats like poems, code, scripts. But beyond that, it could actually hold a conversation, answer your questions in a way that felt almost human.
Yeah, the human-like thing always gets me. A little too good, sometimes. But then there's DALL-E. Okay, that one is straight out of science fiction. You tell it to draw, like a monkey wearing a top hat, riding a bicycle on the moon, and it actually does it.
DALL-E was mind-blowing. Give it a description, no matter how crazy, and it would create an image to match. And these projects weren't just about showing off. They were about pushing the boundaries, making us rethink what AI could even do.
And through it all, there's Sutskever leading the charge, but something happens, right? He leaves OpenAI. Why?
May 2024. Big news. Sutskever announces he's out. And remember, this is the co-founder, the chief scientist, the guy who was OpenAI for a lot of people. Big move.
So what happened? Creative differences? AI-powered fistfight?
Well, from what we know, it was a bunch of things. Internal tensions, different visions for where OpenAI should go, even disagreements with Sam Altman, the CEO. Big picture stuff.
So fundamental disagreements about how to handle this powerful AI. That's intense. So what does Sutskever do next? If you're leaving the biggest name in AI, what's next?
He founded a new venture, Safe Superintelligence Inc., SSI for short.
Okay, that name is very straight to the point. No hiding what they're worried about.
This wasn't just about saying AGI could be dangerous. It was about actually doing something. SSI is all about building the safeguards, the rules, the off switch if we need it for this superintelligence they're building.
So if we're tracking Sutskever's journey, it's like he helped AI see with AlexNet, then speak with SecDSec, and now with SSI, it's like he's trying to give it a conscience.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Ilya Sutskever such a crucial figure in all this.
Yeah.
He's not just caught up in building the future, he's wrestling with what that future should even look like for all of us.
It's a good reminder that the AI story isn't over. It's being written right now. And folks like Sutskever, their choices impact all of us. So yeah, after this deep dive, I'm left thinking, what will the next chapter hold? And what role do we want to play in it? It's something we all need to be asking ourselves. So there you have it, folks. Quite the deep dive into the world of Ilya Sutskever. From math whiz to AI pioneer to now wrestling with the really big questions about this tech that's changing everything. Until next time, keep asking those questions and keep on diving deep.
Thanks for listening to Mythos AI. Stay tuned for more concise insights. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe for future episodes.